The first time the 4x100 mixed medley relay was swam at the Olympics, the USA put Dressel on the last leg. This meant that he was swimming against 7 female swimmers, as every other country chose to put females on the last leg. Anna Hopkins was about 17 meters ahead of Dressel when he jumped in. Every other female swimmer was in between them. It was very exciting to watch him catching up, but 17 meters was too much. He only caught swimmers who were ahead by 6 to 8 meters. They got 5th. A lot of people got angry, thinking USA made a huge mathematical mistake. But did they? I thought this was going to be an easy question to answer. I've spent around 10 hours trying to figure this out, and it's still not obvious. Here's why. There are 6 possible combinations in this relay, as 2 swimmers of each gender must swim 1/4 of the relay. On paper, the selection is easy. You select the best swimmer of each gender, and of each stroke, you add up the 6 combinations, and whatever is the fastest, you go with that. We immediately run into impossible combinations, as Dressel was both the fastest freestyle and butterfly. He isn't allowed to swim both, so this combination is out the window. Then you have the choice of putting Dressel in butterfly or in freestyle, and in the case of female, female, male, male, you have 2 possible combinations. This would produce the 2 slowest possible combinations, and we're left with 5 very similar variations. The fastest being female, male, male, female, by a little bit. This is the combination Great Britain used because it made much more sense for them. But the USA went the opposite, male, female, female, male. Some said it was the worst combination, but even just looking at the math, it was not the worst, and was very close to the best combination. On paper, the USA with this combination should have been faster than Great Britain with the best combination, a full second faster. But Great Britain had some aces up their sleeve. There's also another problem with that approach of just looking at the math. Swimmers are no robots. They don't produce their best times each time they swim. This was Dressel's 3rd event of the night. It actually would have made more sense to put Apple on the last leg, but that wouldn't have made a huge difference either. It was actually the 2 USA girls that added time, even with the relay start, which should be faster. Even with the fastest combination on paper, female, male, male, female, they would have gotten 5th with that time. The difference with Great Britain comes down to human performance. Petey swam an excellent breaststroke, but it was James Guy who really did an exceptional job. He didn't even swim the 100 butterfly individual event to focus on this relay. Anna Hopkins added an almost equally impressive performance to the relay. At the end of the day, the USA had 96 possible combinations of relay orders, a little bit less if you exclude the impossible ones. 7 of them looked all great on paper. They went with the one that had the biggest chance of an amazing spectacle. If the stars had aligned properly, we could have seen Dressel chase 7 of the fastest female swimmers in the most exciting race of the Olympics ever. This year is going to be equally as exciting, if not more. The average difference between males and females is around 6 seconds on every 100, backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly, or freestyle. Sometimes the swimming stars of each gender make this difference smaller or bigger. But as always, the biggest difference is going to come down to how well each swimmer can perform that day. If you want to know how to swim faster, I recommend watching this video next. See you there. Swim fast.